Alright, everybody, welcome in. This is going to be another Stormgate cast, and this is coming out of the Tavern's Mug Tournament. I'm Algorithmore, and this is you in the blue Celestial. Not sure where he's flying his arc ship just yet, but he's flying it there fast. And his opponent here in the red Infernal, this is going to be Wriggle. Got a Wriggle versus you battle here on Lost Hope. We've got a Hexen already out. And she's gone the wrong way. And I'm under attack by my cat. So I apologize for not tracking on this Hexen perfectly well. But she's gone the wrong way. She's going to go all the way around the wrong way. I wonder if she's going to do the full walk or if she's going to just teleport home in frustration. That's what I do. And you here has opened with Collection Array. Nothing surprising there. And back home, he's got a Purifier and is happily making prisms. And again, the poor Hexen here, she's just on a hike. She's not sure where she's going. She's going to go visit every single mine on the map before she goes and finds out what Ryu is up to. And again, this is a persistent Hexen. Is she going home now, or is she actually going to go march and see what's up? Okay, she's cutting across. This is this is the longest possible scouting you can do. It's having to go to every single location. If there was something fishing going on here, it would be kind of late. But at this point, she shows up just in time to see that there's a Starforge going down. And that might be enough to give Wriggle some idea of what's happening. Meanwhile, Wriggle, because of all that long hiking, is already on 3 shrines. This is kind of a mushroom shrine tucked in the back there for extra Therium income. And we also see a really fast ritual chamber with Plague Axes almost finished. The first gaunts have popped, but that looked like it was a ritual chamber pre-gaunt is my guess. You take your first 50 Therium and you spend it on the ritual chamber. You might even then spend your next 50 on the Plague Axes, and only then do you start getting gaunts. Now again, that's something you can do as an Infernal because of charges. So you can bank up your charges. Oh no, this gaunt. Oh yikes. Okay, yeah, you can bank up a couple charges on your Conclave, and then once your Plague Axes is started and you've got more Therium income, boom, you can pump out 2 charges worth of gaunts, and it's like you had those gaunts all along. Oh, it's Vectors coming out, and maybe that's not too surprising from you, as it's double Starforge now, and we've got the recall tech on the way, and Vectors making quick work of these slimies. Meanwhile, Skull zips by and sees all the tech here. He's, I see what you're doing. You're doing that Vector thing. Another Skull coming in, so really nice from Wriggle to have lots of active Skulls on the map. Where is that army? And look at all of these fiends. This is what you get from doing that fast Plague Axes. Your initial creeping means that every single creep that you take out is going to be infested and therefore produce a fiend for you. Unfortunately, some of the fiends going down here, these are a little bit harder creeps, but again, if Wriggle comes over here and takes this out, that's 5 more fiends right there. And Vectors over here, these are 5 fiends that are being denied effectively, because this would be the next camp that Wriggle would want to target. So that's good. But there's so many fiends here that we can see that, you know, that could do a pretty good job against those Vectors, although Vectors again are very maneuverable. And while the fiends might be able to get on top of them, they should be able to kite them all right. Not perfectly like you can with other units. Skull's still going around. The Skull maybe missed its target here. Ooh, and we've got a Magmadon here too. It's going to be a slow mag here without its upgrades right now, but so that means the Vectors are probably not super threatened by it. The mag takes out some woods while they're fighting here, but now the Vectors come up and try and get on top of this creeping force, and a lot of the Fiends and mag are still focused on the creeps while the Gaunts are being taken out. Now the mag's going to turn, and this is what I mean. The Vectors are good. They took out all those Gaunts, and now they can just run away, and they kind of shredded through those remaining Fiends. So maybe not quite as good as I thought it might be. One Vector kind of caught out of position, but easily microed and Delta jumped down to the low ground to safety. And the Magmadon still zoning the Vectors back, but they were, again, cleaning up a lot of Fiends there as they were doing that. They've taken damage, of course, but they're getting the map control. Interesting, they're pushing through here. I wonder if... I don't think you scouted, and you might not know where the actual base is and might think that this is the base. But that's certainly... I mean, he's a good enough player to have seen the pattern of the camps being taken. So I assume you knew where Wriggle was and was just using that as maybe to scout out some extra bases, or just use it as sort of a backdoor escape hatch for those Vectors. Alright, so you still in Vector production, moving out to the center of the map. Gonna maybe take that vision. Here we go, we've got our Legion Hall out. It's queued up, but not, or rallied up rather, but nothing coming out of it yet. And here we have a couple Brutes added, more Gaunts to replace the ones that were taken out, and some Weavers. The Weavers, of course, are going to be able to get some lashes on the Vectors, and so Vectors will go down. There's that Weaver bug. Weaver's doing absolutely nothing after the lash. This other Weaver's like, I wish I could do something. And that... We got another nice lash. We got a nice stomp going down there. But there's just a lot of Weavers here. Or sorry, a lot of Vectors here. The Magmadon does finally get focus. And now it's the Weaver that goes down too. Nightfall, but gets dodged. And now it's just largely Vectors taking out Gaunts. The big Magmadon shows up and does get some good stomps. Some of those Vectors go down there very low. And Fiends popping out of a few of them. But it's Wriggle who pulls back, and this base might have to be cancelled. Wriggle thinks maybe I can defend it, or maybe just cancel at the very last minute. The problem with the shrines, of course, is any damage they take here is going to be permanent, and so if you let this finish at a quarter life, it becomes a very easy target to take out later on. But Wriggle did save it for now, and has pumped out some imps. We've got another base up here. So it's 4 bases for Wriggle. We're on, let's see, 1, 2, 3. It looks like 4 here, and a okay. Very long distance mining. That's curious. Meanwhile, there is actually still engagement going on here. I'm mesmerized by prisms and seeing what's going on with the bases. Magmadon zones the Vectors back again. And now there's going to be some static D going down here. That might help. Like I said, this is a very vulnerable shrine. To defend it, you're going to want to put up some Shroud Stones, some farms. Because once that shrine is up there mining, that's a great Kyrium income for the Infernal player. Fueling all those mags, fueling some Hellborn, etc. Have we added Hellborn? There's a Hellborn. We do have Weavers again. Unfortunately, with their current bug, they are not as effective as they could be. I've heard some Infernal players voice their frustration about that. But, you know, we are in early access, and as new units, new features, and everything get added, we have to expect that there will be bugs in there. And just be patient over time as these bugs get cleaned up by the dev team. Okay, this is interesting. So, Delta jumping in and trying to go for the harass here. But Magmadon's already there with 2 Shroud Stones. Wow, okay, Wriggle. You knew what's coming. And yeah, they're trying to do some Delta Jump Micro, but the Shroud Stones do have a nice DPS, and the Magmadons themselves also. One Magmadon going to go down. Gaunt's in the back, helping out with a little bit of infest damage. One Hellborn as well, raining down basketballs. This Vector's like didn't get the memo. Like that was not the way to go. And these units try to scoot back to safety. Another Vector not sure what to do. And Wriggle's force, well, this is interesting. I look at Wriggle's force, it looks big and nasty. But then I look at the supply, and what am I missing here? Oh, there's some Archangels back home. Oh, there we go. There's 5 Archangels here. So now this force still looking kind of nasty, but looks like if it has to go up against 5 Archangels, might not do as well. We got another Arc ship going down here. And what's the prisms like? What's up with the long distance mining on the prisms? That's kind of curious. When you do that, oh, you can mine to collection rates. Okay, that's something I did not know. That must have came in some of the new eco changes. And we got Archangels chilling out over here. Vectors threatening. Okay. Meanwhile, Wriggle's out in the middle trying to defend his Therium. Archangels come in. Bam! Smash! Wow, Magmadon taking out a lot of damage already. It's already gone. And now it's just watch out. Archangel madness going on in the main. All the static D's taken out. That means the Vectors are having a free reign now. And they're just going straight for the Elder Shrine here. And boom, it's gone. That's going to really mess with tech. It's going to be hard now for Wriggle to get back in this. Hopefully is making a greater shrine somewhere else already. But more huge meteor strikes from the Archangels, taking out a lot of those Gaunts there. Magmadons and Hellborns are left, and those are nice beefy units. And the Archangels and Vectors say, fine, we're out of here. Only 2 Archangels remain, so there was a big hit there. 3 Morph Cores up here chilling. Meanwhile, there's a drop over here that looks like took out that array. And the drop's still on the move. Archangels headed to the center. They're going for some nice meteor strikes, taking out some of the Shroud Stones. Huge punches there. Going for that, yeah, they take out that weak and vulnerable shrine, and they're just going to fly away, hopefully going to survive. One of them solo dies. That was either Molten Touch or Infest, I'm not sure. This drop's still going on. In fact, this drop's a double drop over here. Nice double Sovereign's Watch to take out the Harbinger. And so that's half of a drop taken care of. This drop still, unfortunately, having to be dealt with. And we see these strike nodes and such going down. But this one looks like it's... Actually, no, the strike nodes haven't upgraded yet. Sovereign's Watch is over. There's an Aeon Gate going down here. But its Vectors have been called in to try and deal with the drop. And there we go. Drop shit focus down. So all of these going to be cleaned up. But watch out, because just in time for the quintuple, sextuple meteor strike there, which just laid waste to the units on. And they're just flying out. They're like, fine, we're gone. That's all we wanted. We're here for the party. Now we're going home. The Vectors trying to get to the high ground there. A few of them delta jumping up to get there. Not dental jumping. That's a different thing. And now they're like, let's get in this Aeon Gate. Where's the other Aeon Gate? Ha 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 ha. Boom. Meanwhile, there's a giant force here. These bases are under attack, under assault. Now this Aeon Gate's almost done. Is it gonna pop out? Nope. Oh, where did it pop? They pop. Oh, there's another one over here. Yes, that's the mother Aeon Gate. Arc ship is probably going to go down. Brute's taken... And out come the Vectors and the Archangels. Archangels pop up. Meteor Strike, Meteor Strike. And another Meteor Strike. My bad. And Hellborn and Gaunt's going down. Vectors trying to move up, but all these units have retreated to the low ground. They don't really want to fight into that. And back into the Aeon Gate. Shadow players, of course, can see that. So Aeon Gate going to get taken out. No more reinforcements this time. And bye-bye to the rest of this base. But the Archangels, half of them invisible, flying to the center. Shroudstones can see that. That gets taken out. 3 more invisible Archangels just chilling. But there they go. They're going to take that out. Can they get enough damage done here before the army returns and takes them out? Couple Archangel. One Archangel already going down. Another one really low. They're trying to walk their way back somewhere. Yeah, another one goes down. Let the Avatar form of sort of do the tanking here. But now there's some Fiends showing up too. Actually, they're doing a good job. That AoE, the splash damage from their giant lightning attack here, doing lots of damage. And these Avatars and these Archangels are doing a lot of work here. Vectors have pulled in the back and are adding damage to this. This is starting to look hard for Wriggle, although Wriggle's new army showing up. 3 more Magmadons show up. Magmadons, of course, doing all right against these Archangels. Another Archangel down, but the Archangels pick up and fly away. Magmadons can't jump, but Hellborn do shoot fireballs, fire basketballs into the air. So Wriggle's pushing this army now, so maybe Wriggle did get the tide to turn a little bit here. Remember, there's been lots of base harass on U's side, whereas Wriggle has like put this base up now, and this base is up, and this base is up. So Wriggle does kind of have an eco advantage here. I say that, and then I look, and U has an 8,000 bank. 8,000. Like, you could have some creation chambers and just pump out a ton of Argents right now. I don't know what that would do. Argents aren't considered to be super strong in the late game. I mean, some folk will say they're not strong at all. Although if they're massing up in the early game on your base, they seem kind of strong. Fiends trying to deal with these. Look at these prisms. There's like 100 prisms all trying to get that sweet, sweet, sweet Therium income to help supplement this 9k bank. Oh, pardon me, Aeon Gate up here. Vectors come out, but I guess there was already some defensive units here. These were imps. Long distance mining. Long distance prism mining, long distance imp mining. Shadow flyers coming here. This could be nasty. Well, that was nasty for the shadow flyers. You want to hit that giant batch of prisms up there. Oh, what a absolute kind of waste that was, actually. Vectors up here, once again out of the Aeon Gate. Hellborn here. I don't like how the Vectors are all split. They're all fighting little battles around when they should be fighting one battle together. Archangels doing their best. One goes down. A couple Hellborn go down to pay for it. That Archangel flies to the air just so he could kiss a Shadow Flyer to death. Another Archangel trying to find a way to safety. This is my main criticism of the Archangel, is that it seems to be relegated as a harass unit. Yes, it can do well in some of these battles, but it seems like the only way you win with them is if you like kill a bunch of imps or something by splattering them. At least that's the tale of this game. It could be more about the bank and the macro here than about what the value of these units are, of course. But this is what I mean. Once again, like, here they are. They've come in to harass. They kill some imps. That's the major cost here. They're going to kill some... Oh, that was cool that he left it to die in the area of effect. I didn't realize that was going to happen. But like, what have these Archangels gained? They killed those imps and killed some Shroud Stones, and now they have to fly away. More long distance prisms over here. What's this? Single imp. An array flying. I think used bases over here are all mine. Trying to fly the arrays over. But we already have Wriggle trying to take this base too. And the whole top of the map has kind of been Wriggles for a while. There's been these morph cores up here for half the game as well. And remember, Wriggle's been also mining out the Ethereum in the middle of the map here for a while. Did have to replace those shrines. And I think Wriggle is wisely knowing, like, this is where the income is for you right now. And if I want to take out you, I have to take out the income. I don't think Wriggle has any idea that there is an 8,000 bank. And it's Wriggle with a 2,000 Ethereum bank. Now that's something you'd love to have if you're Infernal. And this could be it here. This collection array goes down. And we have all the units popping out of the Aeon Gate. Hoping to get a good engage here. Triple Sarvan's Watch. Triple Meteor Strike. Once again, triple Meteor Strike up here. But I don't think there's going to be enough Archangels here. The Vectors finally get to maneuver in. Trying to take out some of these Weavers. But the Hellborn are just able to throw their fiery basketballs from the back. Everything gets into the Aeon Gate. Maybe to try and preserve itself. But I do think this is going to be the end of this game here. As there's only one base up here really that remains. This base is now mined out. There's still this 8,000 bank, but like I said, other than dropping 80 Argents, more prisms going down. I don't know what's left for you. Use armies moved out onto the map, saying maybe I can get economic damage done to you too. These are prisms, but there's just too much army here for Wriggle. The Vectors are doing what? Trying to take down some of these reinforcements, some of the supply line here, which just are, you know, easy targets. But you can take out as many easy targets as you can, but as soon as the army balls up and tries to fight, I don't know. Like, I don't think Vectors are going to win this game. And there are no more bases for you. You is not mining. And that's GG from you. Alright everybody, welcome back. This is going to be game 2. And in the blue Celestial, this is you trying to scoot his arc ship away so I can't zoom it. It's not cool. Moving buildings. And his opponent, once again, in the red Infernal. This is Wriggle. And he's trying to wriggle his way into a win in this game number 2 so that he can make this into a series. And his Hexen's not going to go for a long hike today because we're on Broken Crown and there are only 2 spawns on this map. So you know exactly where your opponent is. Look at this, firing off a skull. Being like, are you trying to take this base over here? Because you didn't take that one. Just looking for bases. Checking the 3 mines that are most likely to be taken, right? Skull going into the main. Maybe impact on one of these prisms to get some infest damage. Boom, like that. And you doing a little bit of prism management there to keep this prism alive. Maneuvering one prism to the Therium. By attacking the Therium one, it's not going to gain the healing that you get from the Surged Array. But if you are the Celestial player, you can just sort of hot swap your prisms out as needed. And again, it takes a lot of hits from the Hexen to actually kill that prism. So you're not really at risk of losing it as long as you are stay calm and micro it. If you start running away and stuff, that's when the Hexen can chase you and maybe can kill your Prism, so don't do that. Wriggle, once again, going for that fast Ritual Chamber. I mentioned this last game, but we can see it here. There have been no Gaunts produced out. The Conclave's purpose was to be able to produce the Ritual Chamber, and once again, as I mentioned, first 50 Therium going into the Plague Axes. So now, once another 25 Therium, well, in this case, he's got the Therium. We see the first Gaunts pop out, and there's the second set of Gaunts when the second charge arrives. Actually, 3 sets of Gaunts. So again, he's just charging up there and able to pump out 6 Gaunts. And look, Plague Axes is going to be done in another 15 seconds at about the 2 minute and 45 second mark. That's pretty early. And look at how he's waiting for the creep. Boom, Plague Axe is done. Now drops an effigy and let's go. We're gonna get a bunch. He did use a skull. That's mostly for the extra damage, I think, because you don't need it for the infest. And that also justifies the using the skull early for the scouting, because usually you might want to preserve those skulls, the energy on your Hexen, so you can get extra fiends. But if you have full Plague Axes on your Gaunts from the 3 minute mark, basically, you can go out here and creep. And look at this, he's going to try and steal camp. Sends a skull over there, sees there's a Vector like painstakingly trying to deal with these Shadow Mastiffs. It says, let's go steal your healing camp and get even more fiends. Now, I would love it if, like, now you just push in. Like, you have 10 fiends. You have 10. What's he gonna do? Just go kill his array. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but it seems like the right move to me. See, moving all the way back here to get these fiends. You know what would have been cooler? Just take the extra Gaunts and stuff and come down and take out this camp while your fiends are like chewing on his array. Here we go. Now the Vectors are trying to get some damage down. This is like the one thing you don't want to engage with as Wriggle is the Vectors, because the Vectors can kite you, fight in his base or don't fight at all. See, I don't think this is a fight you can really take. The Vectors, I think, are unupgraded, which means they don't have their additional speed. And did they get range from that as well? Maybe they are upgraded. Let's check. Oh, that click there. They are upgraded. What does it get? Increased movement speed and allows units to recall. So there is movement speed. Maybe it was just finishing as I was commenting there, because they looked a little slow. Now they're a little speedier, but that one's got the speed camp buff. Ooh, nice kind of hits there. One of the Vectors going down, but see, that's what I'm talking about. Even with really nice kind of partial surround and some trample from the Meg, the Vectors are speedy enough to just zip away and not take a lot of damage from that. And so, again, Wriggle has the opportunity with this army to just maybe push into the base. Of course, the base has Defender's Advantage, things like Sovereign's Watch, so maybe I'm overstating how valuable all those fiends would be. And once again, we're seeing a clinic being put on here, basically, of how to use your Vectors to get harassed, kill units, and get out of there. And yeah, fiends are just going down for free, basically. Even with their speed, they maybe get 1 or 2 hits in before they go down. So really good control so far from you, and that means a pretty good supply advantage. Do we see more tech coming out? Nothing yet, really. Just staying on the Vectors. And a really huge engage there, but that was a good one for Wriggle, with a nice concave from the Gaunts and a little bit of trample damage from Almago. And finally, that health camp taken by Wriggle. They've sort of been teasing around that for a while. And one Vector there trying to steal the health camp while the rest go up and take out a Shroud Zone. Now they're just going to punish this shrine, and boom, it's going to go. And now Gaunts show up, but remember, Gaunts aren't super great against Vectors. Vectors love to just like pick off a Gaunt here and there because they're so low HP that if you focus fire them, you can kind of mow them down. And Wriggle's still being quite defensive in this game. Just trying to hold off the Vector harass, even though he lost that base there. And see if you can get in it. I really think some earlier pressure when he had that advantage with his Plague Axes and Fiends might have been the way to go. Because now that look at this critical mass of Vectors out on the map. Are we seeing Archangels or anything being added yet? I don't see that. Oh, 2 Legion Halls there. And boom, this shrine, please get a cancel. Yes, a cancel. Down goes the imp. But once again, Gaunts show up, but again, look what I see. The first ranks of Gaunts that show up are just sacrificial. We get a Weaver getting in there to lash. But that Vector Delta jumps away. I think I see only 2 Vectors went down in all of that. So it's just good micro from you. And it's just hard to deal damage against a, Delta jumping Vector crew when you have slow moving like melee units like Magmadons and Gaunts whose range aren't great. They do have range, but it ain't great. What's going on over here? Oh, these Vectors want to take this out, but we get a Manifest Shroudstone, and that's enough to chase them away. The rest of the Vector Force, though, is going to come and take it out. Goes for the Shroudstone first. Bye-bye farm. Going for the health camp as, once again, slow-moving units. Look at those even quick-moving Gaunts there with their Reaper's Rush and their speed. Those 3 Gaunts said, can I just die? I want to sacrifice myself. We have a dropship there. But the Vectors are a little bit cornered here, and this could be good. We have a Purify going down to help with the Infest. A Magmadon, a couple Magmadons getting in. Some of the Vectors scooting up the ramp, and the rest going around. Good, once again, super good control from you. But Vectors have to Delta jump over the trees, and once again, good control. Many, many, many low Vectors here, but you was able to keep them alive. Wriggle taking back the health camp. You sitting here underneath the arc ship, getting those healing rays. So nice. That's just bathe in them, get healed back up, and then all of a sudden these Vectors can go back and do it all again. Costs no money. Archangel scooting around the outside like the 2 trailer park girls. And what they gonna do? Oh, there's only 2 imps here. And a Fellhog, that's nothing. A couple imps go down. Vectors are trying to keep the army busy over here. And some of the units here are trying to deal with the Vectors, but have any been called in for the Archangels over here? They're not really dealing... I mean, they're going to take out that base, but they're not killing a bunch of imps or something. Bye-bye Shrine. Damn, they hit hard. Oof. Okay, Archangels... Oh, where did the other one go? Vector's coming down. Nice control again. Trying to take out that mag. Archangel over here took out another mag. Fighting imps. That's not a fair fight. Another Magmadon comes down and says, I want to take out that Archangel. It's so juicy. The Hellborns actually target in on the Vectors first and finally get the Archangel. But 3 more Archangels show up in the back. And they're here on Hellborn duty. Vectors are trying to take out the Mags down here, but Mags take a while to focus fire down. Archangels are just using their avatar form and just going to town here. Another Meteor Strike on some Gaunts. Pretty good dodge, actually. Another Magmadon pumps out, and that's going to be another Archangel going down. Vector's trying to get over to the health camp to re-heal up. That's a nice little hold there. Remember, this base did go down, though. Vectors in retreat. Can no longer hold that health camp. And need to go back and find their own. Once again, Wriggle trying to put down this base. This base up and going. How are we doing for bases for you? You has this base. There's a Fiend trying to deal with this one over here. This base is mined out. This one might be soon to be mined out, given that it was the next one taken. And we do have a little engage over here. It's Bellhog's Flame on Imps. And they don't get any strikes, but a couple more imps come and saying, "Fine, you want to come? You want to kill me? I will flame on." Gaunts show up, and we had vectors over here too. This is kind of what we saw going on last game, as the vector phase kind of ended, and the Archangel phase started. There was a little bit of weakness, I would say, from you. This is a curious. And Wriggle has to keep moving back and forth here. The benefit of being on Broken Crown instead of on Lost Hope is that Wriggle is able to maneuver in his base a little better, but these Archangels here are actually doing alright. Meanwhile, over here, the Vectors have actually... Oh, there's Archangels with this force as well. Moving into this phase, I think this phase might be denied again. Flame on Imps, trying to get some of the Vectors, but they scoot away. Archangels here finally have to leave, as well as Magmadons show up. But this base has now been taken by you. And boom. Strike nodes, going to town on these imps. Poor guys. They should flame on. But this is a full force. This is what we really needed more of last game. Archangels and Vectors fighting together. Trying to deal with the Infernal all at once. Look at that. We're creeping. We're taking out Magmadons. We're the hero Archangel, but we gotta go now. We gotta get out of here. This other hero Archangel. Oh! Caught in a stun lock. Kept trying to fly, but got stun locked down. So Yu's actually starting to get a little bit of a toehold here. Something that he was not able to do in the last game on Lost Hope. So even though I was sort of commenting how this might be advantageous for Wriggle, it's Yu that's gotten the toehold up here. And strike nodes. This might go down now. Looks like this base won't be able to face all the basketballs from the Hellborn. And Prisms here as well. But Archangels are like, fine. Look at this. Bingo, bango, boongo. We're going to go through all your imps. We're going to go to town on this shrine. And Wriggle, unfortunately, is like a yo-yo going back and forth here between his bases. These Archangels just say, fine, we out. We out. Shadow Flyers try to impact, but Shadow Flyers are kind of useless these days, I find. Gaunt's trying to chase them away while the Vectors are like, oh, if the Gaunts are not at home, then we will come and chew on imps. Flame on imps. Wriggle didn't have enough Therium to flame on all his imps. And once again, the army of Yu is sticking together and able to... Well, Archangels took a lot of the brunt there. That means Wriggle is going to be able to push this back. This might be able to be kind of a final hurrah or final push from Wriggle if he feels brave enough. But no, he's staying on defense, hoping to re-establish economy. We're at 263 supply. Like, where is this supply? Okay, never mind. It's probably in that dozen Archangels there. They're just like, they're creeping with mass meteor strike. Charging back up over the power banks. And also healing up over here in the healing camp. I think Yu is just getting ready, maybe going to max out and go for another swing. There is over 100 supply lead. And yeah, this base is not even mining. Imps just being transferred there. They're like, oh yikes, we need to leave. Farm being taken out. And this base is just going to go down. So the vectors are able to pull back out. The units were going to try and come and defend, but that base doesn't exist anymore. So the Archangels actually are like, well, fine, I find your rallying units, I turn them into goo, and then why don't we just sit in your base? If you want to deal with this, you have to come and deal with it. I'm taking out your production, I'm taking out your natural. Speaking of production, some Hellborn pop out in a not a great spot. Manifest Shroudstone to do a little bit of body blocking. Wriggle's trying to get his units into, like, rally up. The two Magmadons in against 8 Archangels doesn't seem like that's a fair fight. But the Archangels pick up. Maybe not wanting to get stun locked like they were before. Hellborn showing up as well. A lot of production being taken out there. Now, I dare say all. There's one Spire and one Vault, and that's GG from Wriggle in game number 2. Okay, we're back at it. This is game number 3. I think I announced it incorrectly last time. The first game was won by you. The second game was won by Wriggle. No, now I've done it again. Oh my goodness. The first game was won by Wriggle. The second game was won by you. But that puts us at 1 versus 1. That's all that matters. This is Wriggle in the blue. Hoping to win it, but also hoping to win it. His opponent in the red this time is going to be you. Doesn't matter what order they won in because it's all down to 1 game now, and we're going to play this out on Ruination. Another big map, but also another 2-player map, meaning you only need to scout cross, so no lost Hexens this game. And use opened Morph Core into Array, it looks like. Oh, sorry, Purifier into Array. And it's early shrine. Very curious opening for Wriggle. So double shrine opening. No mushroom shrine over here, where it seems like it makes a lot of sense to me to put a mushroom shrine there. But we do get a mushroom shrine right here. And of course, mushroom shrines popularized by MSRM, also known as mushroom. They are placed closer to the Therium node, so that there's faster Therium mining, which causes slightly slower Luminite mining. And a true mushroom shrine is placed in your main base, right next to your Therium as your first shrine. And the goal there is to just increase your imp production as quick as possible. So after the double shrine opening, oops, pardon me, we have double production, which is Conclave and Vault. And imps rallied here. And what's that? Another Conclave. So this is definitely different than what we've seen out of Wriggle in the first 2 games, where he went for the faster Conclave into Ritual Chamber build. And I wonder if he's going to go Ritual. Yes, immediately Ritual Chamber, but also pops out some Gaunts. And I think that's just testament to being a little bit later. He's got more Therium that he can do both. I commented in the last game about how he spent his first 100 Therium on Plague Axes in the Ritual Chamber. Here he spent 25 Therium on some Gaunts. He's still got a lot of Therium. He could build more Gaunts. It's more the Luminite that's costing him at this point. Where did that Hexen go? Did she get taken out or something? There's no hexing creeping. What could she have been taken out by? I don't know. Morph core? Who knows? But I don't see a hexen anywhere. And the Brute, Brute was the tank, so he got taken out. Ritual, oh, we do have Plague Axes on the way. Maybe another 30 seconds on those. Fiend's heading out to do some scouting. And we're up to 6 Gaunts. Another Brute added. Cloudstone. We almost have Plague Axes done, which is I think why we might be seeing this army kind of idle a little bit. Waiting for those Plague Axes. 6 imps on the Therium here at the Mushroom Shrine. We're up to 8 imps here. And we're doing pretty well. 10 imps here. Sorry, I was looking at the imps. I just really wish they would fix the mining there so that there's not this weird pattern of 10 imps is better as long as the 2 extra imps are on the outside lane. Like, too complicated to think about. And as a low level player, I'm like, I want to have 10 on there because that seems like it's more efficient, but I'm also useless at microing them, so I'm like, maybe I just put 12 on. Or maybe you just put 8 on, I don't know. One day they're going to fix that. We've had eco changes, but I think there are more eco changes in the works. Alright, Vectors, what you gonna do? Come to the low ground and start taking out some of these imps. Imps pulled. Vectors are stuck fighting Fellhogs, which is kind of what you want them doing. That's what Fellhogs are there for. And immediately recalled up to the high ground, taking no damage. Getting some imps, but mostly fighting Fellhogs. Looks like they're trying to find something else to harass. There is this base down here. This is kind of a curious rally over here into the corner. Oh wait, this is the back path. I forgot. I never take the back path, so this Greater Jerboa does. And here we go. We're gonna go in. Get some of these. Look at how many. There's 9 Therium miners here. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Not quite 10. Wriggle. Your Ruination is not great for fighting off Vector Harass. 8 imps go down, or 9 imps go down, plus the Shrine. That nullifies a little bit of the earlier eco advantage that Shrine had earned Wriggle. And Wriggle's got double Hellforge. And he's about to go up to Elder. That's a little early for the double Hellforge, I think, unless you're doing Brute and Mag upgrades at Tier 2. So some Vectors up here, they're on some weird patrol command. Meanwhile, these Vectors want to get back and basically deny this base again. We get a cancel and a reput. Yep. This base here too, I don't think you knows about it because there's no vision through the rocks there. Now if you took this camp, would see the mining, I think. But now, okay, so you've got 2 groups going. I like that, maneuvering with 2 control groups. Shroudstone on the high ground is going to help protect these imps a little bit, but you're going to want to take out the whole shrine. Can the Gaunts get some kills before that happens? Actually, you maneuvers away, not wanting to lose many Vectors. Loses 1. but takes out some of these high value targets, takes out a couple weavers and a mag. Shroud Stones here, still adding to the DPS. And that makes it so that you does not want to stick around and fight under that static D. Again, a lot of the vectors are low and you want to get them home and heal them up under the arc ship. It's also a good reason to have a forward arc ship. I've noticed that's not as much of a strategy anymore among Celestials. There used to be a period, especially during a lot of the Argent all-ins, where you would have your arc ship right there on the front line with you because it would heal, it would tank. Way long ago, you could Sovereign's Watch it and it could melt things. So glad that's not a thing anymore. Look at all those vectors all the way back up to full. I think this is why vector play is so popular among Celestials right now, is you can get enormous value out of these units if you have good micro and control, and you can bring them home like we just saw to heal them back up. Now we got a drop here from Wriggle, and we're waiting on mag speed, but here come the vectors. They did not want to deal with the Magmadons. Now, Magmadons with speed might be a little bit bigger threat than they've been in the previous matches. And this drop could be a value if, sort of like the Archangels use their Meteor Strike to just land on top of the squishy units. You can drop with the Harbingers on top of, say, the Vectors or something. And if you have a good hit and you have the Seismic Slam, you can basically stun them for 2 seconds, and that's usually enough time for your units to wipe out a lot of them. Especially if you have Plague Axe Gaunts in there that can turn into some fiends. I don't know if we don't have Seismic Slam researched yet. That requires a little bit more of Ethereum commitment, so we don't see that as being like a regularly researched upgrade. Here comes an Archangel. There is a defensive army here in a nice kind of concave. So a lot of these units are in the Harbingers. And there we go, Harbinger trying to land on top of them with, there we go, Delta jump away to preserve them. But also huge scorched earth fields on the ground there, taking out the Harbingers. And nice micro from you to split his units and pull his vectors back to take out the Magmadons. And now all these weak units are just going to fly away. Or drive away, I guess, if you're a vector. If those Archangels do preserve themselves, that's going to be a huge win for you as well. And it's you now, once again, with a big supply lead. That's the value of this strategy, right? You come home, you haven't had to build a whole new army of vectors. You just are using the same ones you built before. So any new units you're building are being added on top of that supply, and now we're at double supply of Wriggle. While sitting on a 1k, 3k bank. This is much better than we saw in some of the earlier matches for you, especially in game 1, where we're sitting on a huge bank of Luminite, but wasn't able to get that Therium income. And now we've got Wriggle, I think, trying to realizes there are bases everywhere. There must be bases everywhere. And going to try and deal with that, finding it highly defended. Oh, what's this? Another base over here, also defended, although these strike nodes are not yet upgraded. And Hellborn trying to deal with the Static D over here. But a single Archangel comes in with a Meteor Strike. Scorched Earth lures those Gaunts to stand in it again. Those poor Gaunts are going to die. Archangels in defense, while it looked like a bunch of Vectors came to the low ground to defend. And then also Archangels over here. Well, okay. But we get a GG from Wriggle in game number 3.